What's going on, guys? HybridHero here, back again with another Fact Friday. The video to wrap up the facts of the second generation of starters. 10 facts you didn't know about the JOHTO starters. These aren't facts on the individual starters, as we've already done videos for each starter family, but rather, facts on the group of starters as a whole. To be quite frank, it was hard to dig up crazy facts on the set of JOHTO starters, but I think I managed to work something out. And if you haven't already seen the last episode, where we went over the 10 facts you didn't know about the Totodile family, then be sure to check that out first. And if you already have, then let's get started with the 10 facts you didn't know about the JOHTO starters. Number 10. Berries for all? In the Generation 2 Pokemon games, your starter will always be holding a berry once you first receive it from Professor Elm. And you'd think that this would apply to all the starters, but no, that doesn't seem to be the case, because once you battle your rival, his starter doesn't seem to have a berry on them. You could argue that his starter may have consumed it on the way to Cherry Grove City in battle, but since it's at level 5 and full HP, it doesn't seem to have done much battling either. Maybe your rival stole the starter from Elm and went a step further and also stole the berry from his starter, so that he could have it for himself. Number 9. Starting with a gang of 3. You ever pick your starter Pokemon and go, man, I just really wish there was a way for me to get all 3 of these guys right from the get-go. Yeah, I think that was all of us at one point or another. Well, guess what? You're in luck. Cause in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, there is in fact a way to get all 3 JOHTO starters at the beginning of the game through an in-game glitch. This glitch involves you saving right before you choose your starter, then cloning that starter, and in the middle of cloning, you reset the power on the game, transporting you back to where you picked your starter again, except this time, your old starter will be in the PC box as well. Do this one more time, and voila, you have all 3 starters. I'll leave a link for 2 videos in the description if you would like to try this out for yourself. And yes, it does in fact work on the virtual console releases of these games. However, keep in mind that this glitch seems to be somewhat different in Crystal than it is in Gold and Silver, which is why I'll be linking 2 different videos. And honestly, I did this once myself, and the game was way too easy. But I'd be lying to you if I said that my inner child wasn't having a ton of fun going through the whole game with all 3 starters. Number 8. A Childish Vacation. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, through the use of the Island Scan feature, you can actually catch all 3 JOHTO Pokemon in their base forms in the game. Chikorita on Route 2 on Fridays, Cyndaquil on Route 3 on Sundays, and Totodile and Seaward Cave on Mondays. Number 7. Friends who stay together, evolve together. In the Pokemon Adventures manga, Gold, Silver, and Crystal were being attacked by Lugia, who literally came down to try and kill a protagonist by crushing them with its body. Thankfully for them, their starter Pokemon came out, and all evolved at the same time to their final forms to join forces and save their trainers. Silver claims that this phenomenon happens when Pokemon of similar background come together and one of them begins to evolve. Then the others will suddenly evolve as well, which is technically something we've already seen in the anime with Bulbasaur's Mysterious Garden. Upon evolution, the 3 trainers managed to stop and even capture Lugia, strengthening the bond between the 3 Pokemon and even between the 3 trainers. Number 6. A Trio of Masters. I don't know if you noticed, but Johto is technically the only region that has an exact number of 3 different protagonists in the video games. Ethan, Chris, and Lyra, with Chris being exclusive to Crystal and Lyra to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Because of that, in Pokemon Masters, all 3 of them are present, and all 3 of them use the 3 different JOHTO starters and their evolutions. Cyndaquil for Ethan, Totodile for Chris, and Chikorita for Lyra. Number 5. Enter the Shadows. In Pokemon Colosseum, you may have noticed 3 different colored mystery troop members at a certain point in the game. These troop members actually have the 3 different JOHTO starters with them in their middle evolution. And guess what? All 3 of them are Shadow Pokemon, allowing you to snag them. However, you can only capture one of them during the main story, and the other 2 become available in the post-game. And while it may not be Bayleaf, Kulava, or Croconaw, in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, you can actually get all 3 Johto starters in their base form as a gift for beating all of Mount Battle without using a PC or retiring. Do this 3 times, and all 3 Johto starters will once again be yours. Number 4. Capture On. Gotta save them all. In Pokemon Ranger, you can get most of the Pokemon in that game within the main story. However, there are a few Pokemon known as rare Pokemon. These are Pokemon which are not accessible to you during the main story, and are only accessible in the post-game once the credits roll. And of the 27 rare Pokemon, all 3 of the fully evolved Johto starters are present and available for you to capture with your Capture Styler only once you completed the main story, making them the only fully evolved set of starters to be rare Pokemon in that game. I really wish I caught all of them before I lost my copy of Pokemon Ranger. Oh well. Number 3. The Lost Starters. With the leak of the Pokemon Gold Space World demo, we got to learn some pretty interesting things about the Johto games. But one thing we already knew about the demo before the leak was that Cyndaquil and Totodile weren't actually the original Fire and Water starters of those games. Instead, we had this Fire Bear-like Pokemon named Honoguma, and this Water Seal or Sea Lion-like Pokemon named Kurusu. Chikorita, on the other hand, was already a part of the starter trio, and remained to make it into the final cut. Now despite that, once the beta leaked, we got to see the full evolutionary line of all 3 families. And while yes, the 2 scrap families of Honoguma and Kurusu were cool, Chikorita's family line was rather interesting, cause Bayleaf was designed to be a completely different kind of Pokemon, kinda going through a cocoon-like stage before a grass-type Pokemon, and even Meganium's floral pattern was a bit different. To be quite honest, I think the beta designs were pretty cool, and I do hope they find some light in the future. But honestly, I love the Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile families the way they are today, and I can't see any of them being replaced as the starters of the Johto region. Number 2. The Lost Gender Differences. In the recent Pokemon Diamond and Pearl beta leak, every Pokemon in those games were supposed to have differences for every male and female Pokemon of a particular species. And of course, the Johto starters were no exception to this. And while I do think the idea was cool, the idea was only slightly implemented into the final games, giving only a select few Pokemon gender differences. And among all 9 of the Johto starters, Meganium was the only one to come out with any sort of gender differences. Number 1. An original starter trio. Ash Ketchum has the habit of catching Pokemon that previous trainers have owned. In fact, I kinda made a whole video on that particular topic. And when it comes to his starter Pokemon, he tends to own quite a lot of starters that previously had belonged to other trainers. But when it comes to the 3 full sets of starter Pokemon that he owns, that being his Kanto, Johto, and Univin starters, the Johto starters are the only starter trio that Ash owns that hadn't belonged to any trainer or professor prior to their capture. And there we have it, guys. Those are the 10 facts that you didn't know about the Johto starters. I hope you enjoyed. Next month, we'll be taking a look at the Hoenn starters. Specifically next week, we have the 10 facts you didn't know about the Trico family. So stay tuned for some more Fact Fridays. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I will see you over on the next video, alright? Later.